Welcome tonight to the live stream. I didn't stream last night because, I don't know, a little under the weather. Let's see here. Let's turn off the banner. There we go. Kill the toolbox. All right. Streaming live tonight. Probably only do about an hour. We have a contest coming up as some may or may not know, the Broken Arrow contest. And I'm not really ready flight-wise, but I'm going out practicing tomorrow again. But I want to make my airplane as presentable as possible. So I'm working on buffing it out. And I had been asked in prior sessions how much time is spent in a finish. Well, this finish here is a little different because there's not any paint on it. You can guys that have seen this airplane will tell you that there's not much paint on it. So in order to make it shine, it takes elbow grease. I have about, I would say, 25 hours in sanding and rubbing post clear. There's more time in the post operation than there was in painting it. So what's in the finish? Well, you have a couple of choices. You can spray it on and get her to shine up front and have your airplane weigh, 70 ounces. Or you can not put much on. There's only 4 coats of clear on this. And sand and rub. Now I'm rubbing a little soon. I normally use 5,000 for this operation, but because I'm rubbing so soon, I'm using 2,000 tonight. Now I'll end up doing this again with the 5,000, but I want to make it look decent for this weekend. So we gotta kind of hurry it along. So what I'm doing here is I'm making it flat. 2,000 grit. You cannot get a shine without making it flat. You can rub and rub and rub, and you're just more or less wasting your time. This polishing process is basically like chroming. I got somebody come in.
It's just me, Sparky. Mike.
Hey, what's up?
Not too much. Just spotted your thing. I just got through watching a Windy video. I had never watched one all the way through.
Did you go to sleep?
No. Surprisingly, no.
Anyway, I was just giving a little rundown of what I'm doing here and what it takes to make a shiny airplane. And it's more about the rubbing than the clear. Did you watch my test flight video?
Yeah. Looked like you were getting her more trimmed.
Yeah, bottoms are way too high. Going out flying tomorrow, we'll try to get the bottoms down. I'm going to try to slow it down. I'm running a 5.1, 5.2. I'm going to try to get it down to 5.4, 5.5 tomorrow.
Yeah. Still having the trouble with running too long?
Well, I'm burning more fuel now. I put 10% in.
Yeah.
But it's still not burning a full load yet. I think the Venturi is not quite big enough. But that's all right. I plan on doing this this stream tonight for an hour, unless a whole bunch of people come in.
Okay.
I was kind of under the weather last night, so
Yeah.
I had to go to bed so I could get up early and go flying this morning.
Hmm.
And I'm going to do that again tomorrow morning. Mark and I are going to go out to the field. Kind of hard to prepare for a contest in just 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, that's pushing it.
I got about 10 patterns for the season. That flight that I, took a movie of was the first flight of this morning. Got a little better later on, but not a whole lot. I don't know. I probably won't do worth a damn at the contest, but I'm gonna fly it anyway. Not only that, I tend to get a little more serious when the pressure's on.
Yeah, I think that happens to a lot of us.
Feel bad. Missed Charles Carter last night. I guess he got his camera fixed, and he sent me an email saying he'd be at work tonight. So we'll catch you again, Charles.
Yeah, the other night we had quite a crew on. I don't know how many were watching, but there were 4 or 5 of us anyway.
My stats are going up because of these. So we pulled quite a crew.
Yeah.
I think it was 15 watching and about 6 participants.
Oh, wow.
See, what that does is it ups my watch time and my metrics. I hate it when people, I got some people who subscribe, they stay subscribed for a day and then unsubscribe. And that's bad on my metrics.
Yeah.
Then I got people that'll watch the channel, watch a movie, but only watch it for 30 seconds and then switch off. I guess, they don't know what it is or whatever. I kind of wish they wouldn't do it.
Yeah. At least if they're on it, watch it all the way through and see what you think.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, most of the people watching these videos are kids, and kids ain't interested in this.
Yeah, hopefully there's a way to get some interested.
It involves way too much labor.
Yeah. And labor's a dirty word to most young ones.
I had a guy come out today, woo, where do you buy those? I said, you don't. Gotta make them. Yeah, we're about 25 hours in on rubbing so far. I'll probably have 100 hours in rubbing by the time the Nationals comes around. I'm gonna have to use the drill on that. I'm gonna make a little noise here for a second.
At a rougher spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got it. So how you coming on your project?
Very slow. I've got some things coming. I haven't gotten any wood ordered yet, but I think for some of the others, I've got some engines. I've got an LA40 I got from an RC that I've got the Venturi for, that I've got to get the spray bar for, and the remote needle. And of all things I found in Israel was a 46 FX.
Yeah, you
It
told me.
should be here in the next day or so. I think that FX is going to be kind of reserved for the Juno.
I don't know that I got any Juno plans around. That's more of a classic style airplane.
A little bit. It's different from his others. It's the one, I guess, was kind of the inspiration for Hunt for the Saturn, because it was only like 640 square inches, but looks a lot bigger than it looks in the air, a lot bigger than it is.
I thought it was a big airplane. I might have a set of plans around there. I'll look at it.
Yeah. It had a little different shaped tail and everything else compared to the earlier or later.
Well, the Juno is a big Aries.
Yeah.
What it is.
A big Aries with a swept forward hinge line on the flaps.
There's nothing wrong with that. I built a bunch of them that way.
Yeah. Yes. The first time I saw a picture of the Juno, I said, I have got to have one of those. I got, I think, from Papa Lee or whoever, I got the plans for it. So got lots of strip ribs to cut out for that.
Yeah, you can do that one evening in front of the television.
Yeah. Because it's
So I do it.
like a 60 size ship. It's 47 long.
I think he used the Super Tiger 46 in it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he did. Except I'll bet his Super Tiger 46 was far from standard, too.
Yeah, rubbing.
That sure came out gorgeous. I can't imagine what it's going to look like by the time you're done rubbing it out.
It'll all be shiny like the nose.
Still too early to bone it out? I still
Oh, yeah.
bone the one out.
Yeah, it's I'm using 2000.
Yeah.
And because the paint's still soft, so in about a month we'll use the 5000 on it.
It definitely gets shinier every time you do it, I see.
Oh yeah. But you can tell it's shinier now?
Yeah, I can. Somebody's getting on. I can't tell who.
How's it going, Sparky?
Oh, good. It's you, Daryl.
Yeah. Just finished watching your video on on flying that one again, the XL trim flights.
Oh, that was this morning. Yeah, I'm getting ready for a contest here, and it's not really ready to rub out, but I gotta make it presentable. If I have any chance of winning the concourse trophy, it's got to be shiny.
At least you don't do what I do, try to polish turds.
Well, as I was stating in the beginning of this movie, there's a couple of kinds of finishes that you can do. This kind of finish that I've got here is the most labor intensive because there's no paint on it. You can take an airplane like this and put 10 coats of clear on it, a 1/4 inch thick, lay it on real nice, and it'll shine real good. Or you can put it on these 4 coats real light and sand and rub your ass off.
The price of performance.
Drastically, I think.
With this tube muffler that I got on here, it ended up 56 1/4 ounces. I really wanted to be in the 55 ounce range, but
That's pretty
the
damn
tube
low.
muffler is quieter and it runs better.
Yeah, I seen you running good in your video there. Ugh. Yeah, I seen you were in there, so I figured I'll pop in before you hit the hay. See what you're making out with her.
Yeah, I was burnt out, didn't feel real good last night, so I decided, well, I don't know. This is hard to do, to be, regimented to a schedule of every night or whatever.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because I don't know what we're going to talk about,
Never know how many you're going to watch or talk or.
Well, at least I got you guys coming on, we get some participation. And the longer that I do these, the more people that are going to come on. I hated to break regiment last night, but there's just no way I could have done it. I was thinking about not doing it tonight because it was supposed to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I decided I'd do it tonight anyway.
Yeah, actually, that's where I saw that you're on tonight. Was on the on my subscriptions there. Yeah, I'm working, so doing my 12-hour shifts.
Well, that ain't no fun.
No, neither is unemployment.
That's for real. I'm hoping that we get that straightened out here in this country here shortly.
I hope so. You guys had a rough go there.
Yeah, and Obama thinks things are going great.
They are for him and his buddies.
Yeah, but if you're a guy like
But he wants to bring in next year when he's not even in office 10,000
100,000
or 100,000. That's right, 100,000 war zone immigrants.
That's all right. Trump will ship them back.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, that's what they're doing here. Our previous government was bringing some in, but they're screened and they're real refugees. And this clown we got now, he's just dragging them in. They're not screened, and less than 1% of them are real refugees. So we have a bunch of people coming here that hate us.
I'll tell you what I'm more worried about than refugees, because I can handle my own. Is I'm worried about this internet takeover come next month.
Yeah. Hopefully Congress is going to put a stop to him doing this.
Internet takeover?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
ICANN, the international naming of all, the guys who hold the IPs is going to be turned over to the United Nations October 1st. That means the free press of the internet is gone.
And there is no other free press anymore.
Nope. Now freedom is disappearing very, very rapidly. But I mean,
Yeah.
even as it is, half the sites, if you got a conservative mind at all, they shut you down. They just shut you down if you say anything.
Well, I don't do any political speech on my channel or on Stunt Hanger. I don't mind as long as nobody's threatening anybody or, I just don't like any bullying whatsoever. They don't even have to be conservative or liberal.
Yeah. I don't do any either, but I watch some sometimes, and then all of a sudden they disappear. You find out later that they got kicked out because somebody didn't like their point of view. Really?
Well, liberals like free speech until you say something they don't like.
Exactly. Yeah, you make a conservative angry by lying to them. You make a liberal angry by telling the truth.
And the truth is not good.
Not always, no. I was going to
So,
fly my high performance stunt ship the other night, but I couldn't get her to start.
Oh, that's no good.
No, I got to find a better way of making that glow work.
Yeah.
well, it's rubbing.
See her?
Yeah. That's a neat little one. I like it.
That's it.
I built this years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old Sterling Beginners Fuck Wolf. Yeah.
Definitely cool. Well, you do love airplanes, so that's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got some more kits than I'll ever live to. Of course, over half of my kits are considered collector's items, I guess, nowadays.
Yeah.
But got lots of them on eBay back when you could actually afford to get stuff there.
Yeah, it's gone pretty crazy now.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
You don't have to have any 13.5 rev ups, do you?
I don't have any rev ups at all. Didn't know what they were until you mentioned them. Everybody on our club's either using APC or those $50, $60 carbon fiber jobbies.
This is a rev up right here. This is a 13.6.
They don't make them anymore.
No. Chris was supposed to, I'm supposed to send one to Chris. We're going to make some carbon fiber ones, but I just got a feeling they're not going to work as good as the wood.
Yeah, there's something about wood. It worked well.
Well, there's a certain amount of flex to these. I mean, they're not real stiff. Carbon is real stiff.
Yeah, lighter too.
No, these weigh nothing.
After too light, you'd lose your flywheel effect.
Well, I think I'm done rubbing for tonight. I'll rub some more tomorrow.
Yeah. You're all rubbed out.
I've been rubbing, every night.
Yeah.
To try to get it up to snuff.
She's still not set up enough, eh?
It's set up. It's just,
Or I mean, hard.
no, it's not real hard yet, It loads the paper too much. I had quite a bit of retarder in it because it's so humid here.
Yeah, I've used that stuff a few times. It works good.
But if you don't use it, it'll blush like crazy.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way. got a little fuck wolf I built years ago, and I covered it in silk span dope. Took it a TD-051 for power. House of balsa made it.
I'm gonna make a little noise here.
You don't bother with nitrate at all, do you?
I don't use nitrate whatsoever.
Yeah, what is the deal with that? A lot of people say the first coats need to be nitrate.
Well, it's more of a glue. It's stickier than butyrate, but
Yeah.
one of the reasons I don't use it is you have to have a different thinner, and then you got two different kinds of dope. It's not fuel proof.
Yeah.
No,
I just don't bother with it.
that shrinks like the devil, that stuff.
I've always in my life only used butyrate.
What?
Now, I gotta say that the butyrate that we used to use is a lot different than what we got now. You know, Aerogloss. I got 2 quarts, but no thinner.
I have noticed that in not Hobby Lobby, what is it? Hobby Town, they're selling the little bottles of Aerogloss, supposedly. But I'll bet it's not the same.
It's probably old stock. It doesn't go bad. But you can only get a 1 ounce little bottle. You'd have to buy,
10 of them at least. Probably.
Thinner for a gallon would probably cost you $500.
Ouch. That's called a major ouch on the budget.
Unless this is what you're building. Yeah, I got 1 or 2 bottles of Aerogloss in the basement.
Well, I get quarts, but no thinner. Sometimes I open it up just so I could get that smell. Bring back my youth. I also have, what's that glue?
Ambroid?
Ambroid.
Yeah. Ambroid and Segment.
That smells a lot like dope.
Here's a bottle of Ambroid right here.
Yeah. You can still buy it.
Oh, yeah. But I don't use it for anything except for taking a stick of wood and just.
You got to pre-coat, let it dry, and then do your glue joint.
Put a little bit on a stick, and whip it around just to make the smell in the shop. It ain't really good for anything as far as I'm concerned.
And all the planes I built with it, a lot of them are still together. If you screw it up, you could use acetone to pop the glue joint apart again.
I did a lot of white gluing back in those days. The bad thing about white gluing is it took forever to build an airplane because you had to wait for that shit to dry. Now with CA, it's bang, bang, bang.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. And sometimes out the field, you break something and you hit it with the thin CA and you're fixed, and 15 seconds later, you're good to go. But back in the day, you're done till the next day. Even with that Ambroid.
Testers had a yellow and a green.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
And I think the green was the super quick set. And it would set up in 15 minutes, but it wasn't very strong.
No. I think you can still get it, can't you?
Well, I would imagine. Is Testers in business? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
I think Brodak recommends it for your cloth hinges on your those.
Segment is what he recommends for that.
Yeah.
Hey, people.
Hey, Rusty.
Hey, Russ.
Hey, Gordon. Hey, Hogs. How you doing, man?
Oh, no worse for wear yourself.
Pretty good. My brain's about half empty on power tonight, so I don't know how much comic relief I'm gonna bring to the crowd, but figured I'd check in. I had to watch Sparky's flight today before, so that's what I was doing in the few minutes leading up to checking in.
That's the same here.
Yeah, I watched it a little earlier too.
Didn't
Didn't look very good.
that outside loops you did there, the first ones, buddy, that one of them came real close.
Yeah, that scared me. That was the lowest one of all.
They had high bottoms everywhere.
I noticed something you do that I might try. I'm still being intermediate. Still in the trying stages of my posture. And I noticed when you begin the wing over, you do it with your face straight at the pull up and then fly it out. I usually try to turn sideways so that my arm's extended to my right and then fly straight over.
Come around this way and you turn your body straight to where you're going to go over. You pull up, you go right straight over the top. And
Yeah.
Back around.
That's what I usually try to do, but I thought maybe I misunderstood it, but I thought I saw you facing the pull up when you went up on that wing over tonight.
Overhead 8 is how I do that. Facing.
Yeah, right. Me
The
too.
overhead facing like this.
Yeah.
Because if you're like this or like that, then you got to do the first loop over your head. So I'm facing it this way, and then I do the first loop over here. That's what you're thinking of. The overhead 8.
Overhead 8s are one of my worst maneuvers. I have a little bit of balance problem in that one, so I've been working on that. They're getting a little bit better, and flying far enough behind me. I always think I do, and then my coach tells me I didn't, so I gotta work on flying farther behind me. So if you turn too early on a windy day, then you get slapped out of the sky. And I've had that happen before. That's what happened to my Oriental. I didn't run fast enough to catch it.
Orientals are no damn good in the wind to begin with.
Yeah.
Nice
Well, that pattern I did there today was the first pattern of the day. Was about an advanced pattern. It was not an expert pattern. And I'm hoping tomorrow, after I'll take some more flights, I can get an expert pattern in, because
Yeah.
I did not look good. But new airplane, trying to trim. I only have about 10 patterns for the year. So.
Yeah, that's what I attributed it to. You looked like you were really relaxed flying, but weren't trying all that hard to hit your intersections, and all your pullouts were about the right height. You know, the inside loops wandered a little. That was probably first maneuver of the day. So, but anyway, yeah, I know you can fly a whole lot better than that when you put your mind to it.
Oh, yeah, a whole lot better than that. But
Hell,
I
I
just
didn't do the beginner's pattern yet.
Yeah.
I just put it up there because that's how it is. I mean, I'm that kind of guy. I could have fudged and waited till I got a good one, but
Well, that's okay. First flight of the day is usually I consider it a warm up, and I wish I could get more flights in, but I usually get 3, 4 on a good, 5 on a really good day. So, then I'm about shot. We had a tropical storm lingering off the coast, and so we scrubbed our mission for today, and we're going up to Triple Tree on Saturday to fly on the grass. It's like golf course greens up there.
You're on.
Triple Tree, where's that at?
That's in Woodruff, South Carolina on I-26. That's where they have the Joe Nall.
Right. That's where you live, up by Journal?
I'm about, a little less than 90 minutes from my house. So I have to drive all the way across Columbia and then up towards Spartanburg on I-26. And About an hour and a half, I guess, something like that. That's a really pretty place to fly. They're having a old timers, or maybe it's a geezer fly in Saturday, and I got gray hair, so I guess I can get in.
Well, guys, I think my connection's not too good. My picture, and you're kind of fading in and out, so I'm going to call it a night.
Okay, Mike, I see your usual silhouette with the
With that painting
dungeon
behind.
in the background all over you. Everything
Yep.
except for the sailboats.
Yeah, that's a painting my uncle did.
Is that right? That's pretty. It's the brightest thing. Are you in your shop? Is that
No, I'm in my dining room of all
Oh.
places.
Oh, okay.
I have no overhead lighting in this house.
Yeah. Yeah, my shop's kind of like a dungeon. It's was built in 1948, and it's pine paneling and a plywood ceiling. So I need to get some white paint in there to reflect some light. It's pretty dark.
I just put some track lights in, and I'm going to turn them on, and you tell me if you can see the difference.
Okay.
I turned them on. Is there any difference?
I didn't see it right away, but Mike had his face in the screen when you made the switch. No, I don't see a lot of difference, Sparky.
Let me turn on the screen so you can watch them go on and off. It's 750 watts difference. But I don't know whether it's any difference or not. Okay, I'm going to shut them off.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
No, I could see it on the white part of the plane, but the rest of the plane stayed about the same for me.
Me also.
Yeah, you're not-
We'll touch base with you guys later.
All right, buddy.
Good night.
See you later, Hogs.
Yeah, you're not going to see.
Oh,
it.
that was Mike checking out, not
Yeah.
Hogs.
I still got a little steam left.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to run this one short tonight because I wasn't supposed to be on or whatever. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with this airplane. It's coming around. It's going to take another few, days of trimming.
Yeah.
I was hoping you wouldn't be, so you might want to send it to Canada or something.
Come and get it, but it's going to cost you.
So what you gonna do, Sparky? You gonna leave the same Venturi on it and run it with the fuel usage you're getting now, or you gonna try to get more horsepower out of it, or what's your plan?
The only changes I'm going to make tomorrow is longer lines to try to get a 1 or 2 tenths
Yeah.
difference. And on fuel consumption, I won't worry about that until next season, where I will get a bigger Venturi.
You seem to have good power, though. I mean, it climbs well.
Well, if I'm going on longer lines,
Yeah, you're on.
try to run slower, I'm going to need more power.
And if you're in a windy day at a contest, you need that power too.
Right.
That's a great old bird for windy weather, and I was quite shocked at how damn good these things are. Is Bob Palmer's Smoothie. That's an amazing airplane.
That smoothie flies well. My flying buddy's got a smoothie, an electric, but it's a good flyer.
I got a smoothie kit right there. It weighs nothing.
Brodak?
The best kit I've ever seen. That's why it ain't built yet.
Dumas.
No, it's not a Dumas. It's a generic. It doesn't have any label on it.
Oh, really?
But it's a smoothie with super contest wood, 4 to 6 pound wood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of stuff you sell on the website, eh?
No, that's a kit the guy gave me at Brodax this year.
No, I mean the wood that's for sale on a stunt hanger. That's
the best wood you'll ever get anywhere.
Yeah, I bought some wood from Stunt Hanger before.
Yeah.
You'll not find any better wood.
Yeah, I just got I got a couple of Walter Umland's kits and was pretty happy with the wood in those things.
Yeah, my Twister had beautiful wood in it.
You got the fancy.
The flaps were a little bit wavy, but other than the flaps, everything was just about perfect.
That's the Fancherized Twister, right?
It's the Fancherized Twister, and it's got extra triplers on the nose so that the engine and tank are recessed. It's really solid. If you wanted to fly a Fox 35 or something that vibrates like that, it would hold it back. But I've got an FP 35 on it.
And it's probably not legal in profile stunt. I thought I'd tell you that.
Because of that, yeah.
It can only be maximum three quarters or an inch wide at the widest point.
Really?
And you're probably inch and a half, right?
At least, yeah. You said profile stunt. You mean what, nostalgia or old time, or you mean
Profile.
I didn't know profile had any kind of restrictions as long as it was a profile, but I guess that makes it too wide or something. It
We got
depends.
somebody new coming in. Say hello, Minnesota.
Hello, Minnesota. Wonder who that is.
Turn on your mic. Turn on your camera. Take the mouse. Take the arrow up to the top. There'll be a drop down. Click the gear, and turn on your mic and your camera.
Is Shug checked in from Minnesota since you've been doing these streams?
No.
I'm expecting to see him in a couple of weeks. I think he's coming to Huntersville.
I had a good time with him on the interview I did. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I had, we were both flying intermediate, and it was his first contest in 2014 when he came up there, and so we pitted for each other and got to know each other and really enjoyed it.
Is that Shug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tony Emery is actually his name.
He had the kid's dream job. He ran away and joined the circus.
The circus, yeah. Got to be a real Ringling Brothers clown.
Because most of his channel was originally based on venturing off through the woods and stuff, eh?
Yeah, hiking, camping, and hammock camping is what he calls it. He's got a lot of followers.
Yes, he does.
Does he ever? Yeah, it's kind of cool that he pops into the control line stuff. He whacked a couple of planes this year, eh?
He sure did. But that's what happens when you're trying to learn those consistent low pullouts and flying in the wind. You got to do all of it if you're going to be able to fly in contests.
Yeah, I re-kitted a couple of airplanes last year, and
I had that sort of year. I crashed 3 of them in about a month and a half last year. And
yeah,
it was disappointing.
And I smoked one this year. All doing inverted. Every one of them was inverted.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I noticed?
You fly all electric now?
Nope. My Smoothie is got a Brodak 40 in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I noticed about me last year? I did not produce one airplane.
You didn't build an airplane in a year?
Not for me.
I was gonna say, I've seen you build a couple.
Not for me.
Not for yourself, no.
My red Monado was done in September of 14, because I just was looking at pictures on the computer today, and the Continental was in September or October of 14.
Oh, you mentioned in the Monado. That reminds me, did you get the picture? Did you recognize Wayne in that picture that I sent you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah, that's my coach and flying buddy.
I got 2 coaches, trial and error.
Yeah, those are tough though.
I got a GoPro I put on my head, eh? That's where some of my YouTube videos come from. And I'll tell you, I've picked, sitting back watching a crash or doing stuff, I've caught things I normally would never have noticed in a million years. Especially when the crash does the walk. How thick is that? That must be mylar or something.
Silk span. Triple lot silk span.
Hey, Sparky, you know, when I was watching your movie a little while ago, I was thinking when I film myself flying or other people flying, I always put the pilot's feet at the very bottom of the frame, and that way I can catch the tops or most of the tops of the things like the hourglass and vertical 8 and all that.
It's hard to do when there's nobody out there to aim at.
Well, yeah, that's true. If you've got some kind of marker you can set on your center circle, you know, put it at the bottom of the frame. But I just thought I'd throw that in. That's my method of camera work after so many years of doing it, what I figured out.
Yeah, we get a grass field, so you got that little dirt patch out there as my target in the middle of the field.
That looks like a pretty big grass area where you fly. What is that? Is that a park or what?
It's
Yeah, it's a regular
yards.
designated model airplane field. There's a donut, a paved square, an enclosed speed circle, a carrier circle, and 4 more grass circles.
Is it pretty busy? Do they have a lot of activity out at your field?
Not really. They got more RC. That's just a control line. Then down the way there's the RC field. They got a lot of RC guys, but control line guys, there was 3 out here today, 3 out yesterday, but you know, that's unusual. And then our club, but it's not busy all the time.
Yeah. Ours is disappointingly empty too, except for us control line guys, me and Wayne and Bob, and that's about it. Ever since they raised the security at Fort Jackson to where you have to have a pass to get in, everybody dropped out, and you can't.
I got my FAA number on this, so they can't complain about me.
Yeah. Yeah, if you ever fly high enough to get into regulated airspace, you'll be okay.
It's the stupidest rule I ever heard of.
Yeah, they haven't started that horse shit in Canada.
Well, the thing is, we never reach regulated airspace. We don't fly over 75 feet at the most.
Yep. Well, here it's legal to fly control line at an airport. You're allowed to fly tethered aircraft.
That used to be centers of activity here too, you know, around the airport, because a lot of the pilots are interested in it, and they usually have plenty of wide open area, but not anymore.
Yeah, I flew my electric ringmaster at my hangar. I was surprised, considering how rough it is, how well I managed that. So of course, those old airplanes are designed for rough fields. Landing gear sticking out the front like that, it works very well.
You've been flying your little experimental craft much lately?
Not here lately. I had 2 weeks off, and it was just wind and rain the whole bloody 2 weeks, with the exception of 2 days, and I disappeared in the Harley in those 2 days.
Yeah.
It was still too windy. Yeah.
Have you ever done any sailplane flying?
I was up once. I got a video on my channel of that day. Same thing. I put the GoPro on my head and off we went.
Yeah.
The guy let me take her, and that was quite the experience. Talking to the guy behind you with no headset.
Yeah.
We just had lost one of our club members, Jason Pearson. He crashed his ultralight.
Oh shit,
Got killed.
Oh, that's terrible.
that's bad.
Mike Leinke flies an ultralight, or I don't know if that's what it's really called. I'm not up on my terminology for those kind of planes, but it's basically a hang glider with a motor on it.
Yeah, that's an ultralight.
Kite
Yeah.
with a motor.
Yeah.
They call them the flying lawn chairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same thing that Jason crashed. I don't know the particulars on it. I just know he got killed. That was, just about 2 weeks ago.
Too bad. Yeah, we lost an ultralight guy in British Columbia. The wing parted company with the airplane, or half of the wing, and unless you have a ballistic chute, you're done. But in the United States, your rules are way different. Like here, you got to be 252 empty weight maximum on your airplane, ultralight airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
In Canada, we can have a gross weight of 1,240 pounds. So your airframe weight is quite irrelevant.
Yeah.
I got a flybaby in my hangar I rescued, and I'm going to finish it here after I finish the heath I'm building in the basement. That airplane in Canada can be registered as an ultralight with a 65 horsepower Continental in it.
Are any of your planes two-seaters?
The one I fly now is a two-seater, yeah. And it's called an advanced ultralight, which means it meets certain specifications where I can legally take a passenger with my passenger rating.
Yeah.
And that's more what you guys came up with in the US with your sport, light sport. It's quite similar to our advanced ultralight that we've had since late 90s.
Only airplane I've ever flown is a Learjet.
Well, they make them in Quebec.
Let me tell you how that went down. I am a motorcycle mechanic. One of the guys came in. He works for some company where he was a shuttle pilot, and he used the Learjet. And he said, "Would you like to go for a ride?" I said, "I'd love to go for a ride, only if I get to fly it." So went up, and of course I didn't take off or land.
Well, flying is the second greatest thrill known to man. Landing is the first. I didn't realize that till I started learning how to land. Getting off the ground wasn't that hard either. But, buddy, the ground starts rushing up and you're supposed to wait until the runway fills your peripheral vision. That was hard.
Speaking of landing, that's been one of my nemesis in control line, and I've just had a terrible time learning to land a plane without bouncing it. But since I've gotten the twister, all of a sudden, it's like I know how to land a plane. I've not had a bouncy landing yet out of the 25 or so flights I've flown on it. So I don't know if it's me or the plane. Acts like it's the plane, since it's the first one I've ever been able to grease a landing on.
That long tail wheel makes some difference, eh? Does
Gotta have the
my
landing gear far enough back to grease it in too. You can't, if they're up too far forward, you won't grease in.
Yeah, mine are way back. In fact, everybody's advised me to move them forward. So we talked about that the other night. I've got them up just a little bit forward of the lead edge now. The whole wheel is not in front of the lead edge, but part of it is. You told me the axle should be about parallel with lead edge.
Flying on grass or pavement?
Mostly grass, but at Huntersville, I'm going to have to be flying on pavement for the contest.
Well, for grass, you have them forward, and for pavement, you have them,
Yeah.
back.
Hopefully I can get a couple of practice flights in on the pavement just to get used to it before I have to flying official.
I hate flying on the grass.
Yeah.
Flying on the grass up at Triple Tree is a lot like pavement though, because it's, like I said, like a golf course green. So I guess it might be a lot like pavement. You know, it's soft, but still, I don't know, no bouncy. It doesn't have any bumps in it. You can really do a pretty rollout, landing and taking off.
I hate the grass. I just hate it.
I've never flown on pavement with a control line.
I've only hit the pavement one time, and that was with dead stick. So
That's all it takes is one time for an airplane.
yeah, especially a full fuselage. That's why I'm going with a profile for this this season. And
The bad thing about flying on pavement is you usually lose the engine.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, at least when you're hunting gophers, you usually don't damage your engine. Take out
Yeah.
a valve or something.
it's a good idea to bolt the engine on with soft bolts too, so the bolts will break off.
Brass. We used to use brass.
I've never gone that soft.
Well, amazingly, they never came off, especially a Fox.
Well, it's getting better.
Looks good. Wish I could see it in real life.
It'll be another 40 hours rubbing anyway.
My gosh.
I got a question for you. When it comes to your competitions and appearance, I notice the guys that even have fighters, and in the RC it's totally different. But those fighters are bright and shiny. Now,
Yeah.
to me, a fighter is flat and has exhaust burns and wing.
Yeah, sure does. Burnt oil all over the sides of it. And
Well, let me tell you a story. There was a guy by the name of Ron Burns, and he built a World War II, I want to say F4F, but it wasn't a Hellcat. It was one of those type airplanes. And he built it with a scale paint job. And he even had the correct markings on it. You know, they had made a mistake. There's pictures of that in the magazine, and he made it all dull. And it was all to scale. Absolutely beautiful job. They gave him 10 points at the Nats, and that was the last time he was there. Those appearances, I was not the appearance judge. If I would have been appearance judging, he'd have got maximum points. It doesn't have to be shiny. It should not have to be shiny in order to be, maximum points. Shiny's nice. Like this airplane is meant to be shiny, along with some of the other fantasy airplanes that are put out. But maximum points, it doesn't have to be shiny in my book.
Especially scale is not supposed. It's supposed to look like a real airplane, you know. So yeah, flat and dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a War Weary P40 or something. I was just kind of wondering how that would go in a control line world. Because
we got another guy. You might have seen him, Tommy Looper. Tommy Looper builds airplanes, and they're not real shiny, but he uses chalk to weather them.
Yeah.
And on the panel lines, that chalk he does, and he carved his own pilots. The guy's a fantastic builder. Just beautiful. And I think he's down in North Carolina or South Carolina way.
No, no one.
Tommy Looper.
Yeah, I've watched, I think I've seen, he has videos, right?
I don't think so.
No, because there's a guy on YouTube, he was chalking his, oh, maybe that was, no, actually that was an article.
Another guy who does that chalking stuff. I had two helpers this year for appearance judging, Jim Lynch and Charlie Reeves.
Oh, Charlie flies some beautiful planes. Yeah, I know him from Huntersville.
And I recruited Charlie and Jim because Well, Jim for another reason, but both those guys are real good finishers and builders. And if you'd have been at the Nats, nobody ever rifled through all them airplanes in an hour like I did. And I had a pretty good lineup. You know, it was right, you know, but I had good help.
Yeah. Now, at Brodak, they don't touch the planes. They don't pick them up and look underneath. But at the Nats, they pick them up and look underneath at everything too, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't do that at Brodak, though.
I've been there. I know.
Brodak, is that going to continue? I heard a vicious rumor this was the last year.
No, that was this year was supposed to be the last year. See, John had throat cancer and he had the cancer removed and he got to feeling better. So now he decided that he would continue year to year as
Yeah, year by year.
Yeah. So I'll be there next year.
I hope he's got that beat for good.
Yeah, I'd love to go, but I just can't make it. It's too far from my dialysis clinic. I wouldn't be able to go that much time.
Yeah, no.
Without Brodak, we lose a valuable resource for parts.
Now, from what I hear, even if the Brodak fly-in ceases to exist, the shop and hobby shop will stay on.
That's
Keep on
correct.
going.
Until John passes away.
Yeah.
How old is John?
70s.
75, I think.
Nobody young in this business, is it?
Not anymore. Not even me. I thought I was, but I'm not.
You guys keep telling me I am, and I got no problem with that.
John does it for the love of control line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some nice kits. I got quite a few. I got a whack of his kits, actually.
John's a scale enthusiast, isn't he? Isn't that his favorite part of the hobby?
Yeah.
Scale.
Yeah, I built that shoestring I built was his prototype kit. Very first one out. Had no instructions. Had no kind of, you know. It was
That's the prototype of the kit that's available now, right?
right. And my airplane will be in model aviation next month, I think. Might be this month. I don't know.
When I was a beginner, I flew a old Goldberg profile shoestring, 35 size plane.
Yep.
That was a twitchy plane. No wonder I had so much trouble flying it. I didn't really know what I was doing when I was a wreck when it was given to me, and I put short control horns on it, and I can't even fly a pattern on it now. It's like flying a little combat plane. Reminds me of a half A.
Back when I was probably 14 and didn't really understand center of gravity, I built an airplane. I think it was a Cougar, and it was way tail heavy. Took off, went around, and I finally got on the ground. I mean, the whole flight was like that. I finally got on the ground and never flew it again. Didn't know what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
Just like my Sig Fokker biplane, D7. I had a McCoy 19 in it, exactly the same thing. That bugger was tail heavy, and it porpoised all over hell's creation. And I managed to get the thing back in the ground without totally destroying it. And I never flew it again. And then later on, of course, it dawned on me, this bugger was tail heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know any better back then, you know.
No, I went through the same phase. I had no idea about balance on a plane. Had a few rides like the one you described.
Like years later, I looked at the instruction manual I found, and I read it. The last part where it tells you about balancing.
Yeah. Well, as you can see in the video, this thing tracks nice. It's well balanced.
It did. I was using that fence behind you as a reference, and every time you went around, you were riding the rails on that fence.
You find that muffler or the extra weight in the nose help you? You're saying she's a little twitchy in the corners?
Yeah, I narrowed this handle spacing way down too. So I don't know what, you know, right now I'm just gonna run it like this and for the rest of the season.
You
And
got a 3-inch bell crank in it?
no, I don't use
Cool.
3 inches, nothing. 4 inch.
Uh-huh.
Geez, I even put the 4-inch in my twister. I use the SIG bell crank.
I got a 3-inch crank in my twister.
And that's those 2 Skyrays I have. The one I'm beating the hell out of training on. That thing's bulletproof. And the one I built, with both having large elevators, and I got 4-inch bell cranks in both of those. The SIG bell.
This is a 4-inch Brett Buck bell crank.
Yeah, that's a little out of my league just now. Yeah.
Well, I always put the best parts in everything because, you know, it's just too hard to cut apart. I might as well make it right the first time.
I mount mine the same as you do. Bruce showed me in our club there. Mount the bell crank on a 1/8 wire post instead of that plywood plate.
Yeah.
That works well.
Maybe if I switched to a 4-inch crank, I wouldn't have so much porpoising at the bottoms of my squares. That's always been something that I have a problem with. I bounce the flats on the bottom.
Oh, ground shy. Or tail.
Call
Could be. I'm not really ground shy, but I still get, and I think it has something to do with the way I rotate my wrist. That's my mission the next few times out, is to get maybe some video of my wrist as I'm flying. I think I come out of a inside loop and rotate my wrist upside down, and then as I rotate it back to normal is when I porpoise. And so I think I'm just inducing it myself.
Well, you're the guy that flies backwards anyway, right?
Yeah, that's right. Backwards and with my fist overhanded straight out in front of me like that, rather than knuckles up and down. I just hold it with a fist like I'm throwing a punch at somebody. So, but I need to hold it in one position rather than be rotating it as I make turns. And I think, and it's only the insides because I can't rotate it the other way. I use my elbow and wrist combination when I'm doing outsides, but with insides, I just use wrist alone. But it's all in learning, you know. I'm just intermediate. Hopefully I can graduate one of these days. I'm getting a little bit better every time out.
That's what I like about that GoPro and the headband. If you lower
Yeah.
it, you can see everything you're screwing up with your wrist.
Yeah, that's right. I have to have somebody in the circle with me with the camera to look at my wrist work. I've done it before, but it's time to do it again.
You know, I got one of them GoPro headbands.
Yeah, mine came with my original GoPro. I got 3 of those buggers now.
Yeah, I looked at GoPros one night on Google just to get an idea of what it cost to buy one, but I had sticker shock when it was all over, so I have
They
not.
don't give them away. All 3 of mine, my wife gave me for Christmas. So.
Is your wife interested in flying? Does she ever go out with you?
Yeah, she's gone up with me a few times. She prefers a motorcycle, but yeah, I've taken her up quite a few times in the plane.
Mine goes to the contest with me. She's real supportive that way, so I love that. I'm lucky. A lot of guys don't have a wife that gives a crap about their flying.
Oh, you're talking about the models?
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife doesn't give a crap about that. I was thinking about the ultralight.
I know.
I mean, she's come out with me when I've flown RC, but it's not something she She's a pretty busy woman anyway, so she never stops.
Mine is too.
Oh, I know where it is. I'm gonna take that headband with me tomorrow, I think. So I'll post a video of that. I had the GoPro in the car today.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I gotta get me a shot of Coke. I'll be right back.
I forgot all about that headband thing until you mentioned it. I'm gonna go over here. I think it's in this closet over here.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a silly looking thing, and then when I saw what I could do with it, I was quite happy with it. I almost had a new video of this little fog wolf thing flying, but I flew it once back in 95 or 96.
I got so much damn shit, I don't know where it all is.
I hear you.
Let's see here.
So much damn shit. Yeah, I got a lot of that damn shit too.
I got over 250 kits in the bloody basement. So.
Good Lord. Hogs, tell me your name again so I can write it down and remember it.
Daryl.
Oh, Daryl, that ought to, okay, I should be able to remember that.
So we got the head part. I got the head part on.
There you go.
So,
Oh, yours got the strap over the top. Mine doesn't have it, I don't think.
let's see if I can find the,
Oh, no, actually it does, yeah.
I need. That ain't very good. I know I got one.
Yeah, your camera should bolt directly to that thing.
Well, let me see here.
When you
I gotta
use-
have an attachment there. No, that ain't it. Let me look over here. Shit.
Hey, Daryl, I just wanted to tell you I appreciate you being one of my YouTube followers. I got a few, but you consistently comment on them, and I got about 155. They go back to the first loop I ever flew was my first video, and my son caught it on a half A jumping bean in the churchyard across the street from my house. Before I even knew these big planes existed.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2012, I didn't even know there was contests.
Actually, neither. I knew a little bit of it, but one day I was coming back from Edmonton, I saw some guys flying control line in the field behind the school in a place called Nemeo, and here in Alberta. So I went in to talk to him, and it turned out, well, one of the guys competed here. He competes with his ship, and that's when I discovered just how big control line really was.
Yeah. It's the most, I tell you, since I've joined clubs and been flying with other people now, I've had more fun than I ever expected to have at this point in my life. It's been a great experience. Over the country, all over the world now.
I don't get out nearly enough. But 2 weeks off, I was planning on knowing the beginner's pattern at least down to a science, but the wind and the rain, I didn't even get out once.
Yeah. You know, the first time I ever watched you fly was an electric PT-19, and I got the impression that was your first electric. Is that right?
Yes, it was, yeah. I had the old E-flight timer in it. Every rev is a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my right hand was still in the splint at that time.
Huh.
I was flying with my left hand. I had my ringmaster out there too the same day. I still fly that PT-19, but I got a KR governor in it now.
Yeah, Keith Renical.
I flew that airplane this year at their Prairie Fire event. Everybody just loves watching that thing fly. And you can't do much with it. It's just a pretty airplane, right?
Well, I'll just use it in the waterproof case. I can't find I can't find the little attachment I need.
All I ever use is the waterproof case with the open back.
I don't have an open back.
Oh, you got a drill there.
Then it won't be waterproof.
Do you submerge it?
I don't know. Let me look in this bag. Like I say, that I get so much stuff. No, ain't in there.
Yeah, the open backs are pretty cheap anyway. They actually they come with the camera. Because the GoPro I've been using for the control lines is the original GoPro Hero. But, that thing still works great, but it's only 720.
Now, do they all give you a fisheye effect, or are there different lenses you can use that will not give you a fisheye?
The new ones are awesome. Now, the ones I use in my ultralight videos, I found this thing called a neutral density filter, and it's basically almost like a sunglass lens that pushes on over the case of the camera.
Mhm.
It gets rid of that weird wobbly prop you see in videos.
Oh, yeah.
You'll notice
Really?
mine doesn't have it, and that's why.
I thought that was an artifact of the strobing effect on the CCD, but never was real sure because it came along with digital cameras as
Yes.
when I first started seeing that.
Yeah, once you get up around 720p and over, like any high definition camera, you did that. Yeah, it would do that. And
Now I'll look in this camera bag. Maybe it's in here.
good thing you got organized.
Well, you don't understand. I got a lot of camera stuff.
Yeah, you probably got way more than I do. All mine's just little handheld shit. I got 3 GoPros and 3 little handhelds.
I got my Nikon,
Oh, sweet.
and I had a selfie stick too, but I don't know where that is. I think that attachment might be on the selfie stick.
Yeah, it would be.
All I've got is a point and shoot Samsung with 10x optical zoom and I think 14 megapixels, and it does a pretty good job. But I'll tell you what, my LG cell phone does an amazing job, especially if I push and hold while somebody's flying by and I want to get a level or an inverted pass, and it takes about 50 pictures and I can pick out the one I want, and it'll focus on the plane perfectly, and sometimes the pilot pretty clear too. And I've enjoyed getting action shots like that.
And one of those pictures would be ideal for your picture for your videos.
Yeah.
I think I got it figured out here. Take it off this piece.
The only thing I wish the GoPro had was some kind of zoom so I could bring in the model a little closer. That's
Yeah.
you cannot do with it.
Oh, they don't have zoom, huh?
No.
No. The zoom is you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you can get a really big airplane and put it on really short lines.
Here we go. I got it figured out now. Yeah, see,
So I'll be looking for this video tomorrow.
what I'll do is, this is the waterproof case. I'll put this piece on here. Yeah, this will work. Except that hole ain't big enough. Well, we'll have to make it big enough. So, I have to drill it out.
Modelers can do anything.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, screw with it till it is.
Yeah.
That's what we always used to tell the racing guys at the motorcycles. If it ain't broke, screw with it till it is. That's not screw with it. We used a harsher word, but I'll be polite.
Fix it till it's broke, huh?
Yeah. That's the
Yeah, kind of like they do with Fox 35s. He got a stuffer back plate and a high zoot crank and a plug in a plug in the bypass, and it runs almost as good as one straight out of the box.
Exactly.
Still ain't big enough. Okay.
Yeah. Shit's getting serious there now. So we'll be expecting a GoPro video of that machine tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad to see they moved the dates for the King Orange International down in Jacksonville. That's gonna put it within my reach. So I'm gonna go this year. It'll be the first time I've gone.
Sweet.
You know Gene Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Ford truck that's really good on gas. I'm gonna have to look at Brodak next year. The only thing is our Canadian dollar is taking a shit kicking right now against the US dollar.
Are we beating you?
Ooh, beating us to rat shit.
Okay, so that's that part. Now, what did I do with the, there it is. Now, this will be better than that other thing.
Camera customization while you wait.
Yeah. So, then, this goes on here like this.
Okay, I see the setup you're talking about now. Yeah. That's threads right into the bottom of the camera itself. The mount.
Well, the holder, it's not on the camera, it's in a holder. Okay, does that look about right?
Yeah, the only thing you got to watch out for now is how you always got to slope the camera down a bit. Is if it's perfectly vertical, of course your head isn't. I know this by experience. Can you link that camera to your cell phone?
Yes.
Okay, then you can get because I got my newer one linked to my iPads and I get a preview.
I don't want to make a big project out of this. I just want it to go.
Oh, it'll work. Nice thing about that lens is it's got this huge field.
Yeah, I'll remember to take all this crap tomorrow. I mean,
I noticed the GoPro makes your square loops look like you're making soft corners when you're really not. It gives it's just that kind of fisheye effect. It makes them look rounder than they really are.
Yeah, because you're the outside of the curve of the lens, so to speak.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to my selfie stick. I got another thing here I could use. It's a harness that you wear.
Chest harness, yeah.
Yeah, put the camera right there.
I was gonna get one of those once, but I never did. The headband came with my first camera, so that's why I use that.
Well, I got all these accessories for $19.
That's about 35 Canadian.
Damn, that's a lot of difference.
Yeah,
You
you're
really
looking
are.
at over 25 bucks, and then by the time the bank gives you a good shove in the butt, it's more than that. So.
Okay, so that's it.
2 years ago, we were on par, and I was down. The wife and I were down in the U.S. all the time.
I guess I should take the GoPro case for the extra battery. Well,
Oh yeah.
I think that's all Shug takes pictures with is his GoPro.
He usually uses it a lot. I don't know if he uses it exclusively. I haven't seen him put a control line picture in since he showed me showed us the remains of his P40. And that was Brodax. He had those 2 crashes, wasn't it?
He wasn't at Rodak.
Oh, wasn't he?
No.
Let's go back and look at that video again, see where he was flying.
Hey, this is my photography equipment in here. All the lenses and shit. The whole closet's filled with a boom, a jib, lighting, cables, monitors, all kind of shit. Just for making videos for you guys.
Hell yeah, I never did get, I was looking at lighting, because I know in my basement when I'm doing my gun videos or the models and that, I really got to work hard on where I get it so you can see what I'm actually doing.
I'll show you some lighting that'll blow you away.
When you were working on the Skyray a couple of months ago, I could see it fine. That was a pretty good video you made.
Who?
Daryl.
Oh, that little beginner Skyray.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, and that's where, well, it was flapped because you were using a soda straw to put glue in the flap slots, and I decided I was going to try that. Maybe I got 2 of them confused with each other. You know, I could be talking about.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime I do an assembly or a build of a model, I always show that soda straw trick.
Yeah, here's some lighting that I use for video. Got 2 of these that go on stands, and
Wow.
and you talk about bright.
Now, are they 4?
That's a halogen.
Yeah, they're for
Doing videos and shit, eh?
yeah. Huh. Gonna have to put a bolt in that. I just did that for the other one. Yeah, I got stands and umbrellas. I got so much damn camera equipment and shit. I need to get rid of it.
That was a big a Flight Street trainer. That silver and blue one. That's the one you're.
That's the one I'm talking about. You're right.
That was a Brodeck kit, yeah. I never did get to fly it.
Really?
I was loading it in the back of my truck, and I just got my hand out of the splint from getting that woman tried to kill me when I was on my motorcycle. And my wrist was still really weak from being in the splint for 7 weeks. I put my hand up on the box of the truck to get in, and I had the airplane in the other one, and my wrist gave out.
Oh.
Instinctively. Squish, yeah. I could have fixed it, but it was broken pretty bad.
That's a shame.
I was pretty disheartened, so I just tossed it. But I did buy another kit.
There's a forum on Stunt Hanger about crazy things that have happened. I don't remember the name of it, but crazy things that have happened over the years. And one guy talked about building his first ringmaster, and he got on his bicycle and was riding it to the park, and the lead outs got caught in the spokes of the wheel and it jerked it in and ate it to shreds. And, oh man, that's awful. I feel for him.
Mm-hmm. Back when you had to build them, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys get involved with that ring-a-thon? Do you ever hear of that?
Yeah, yeah.
The ring.
Master Fly-a-thon. I don't have a ringmaster, but actually have bought a micro ring kit for a TD010, and I'm doing that for the Cox Engines Forums traveling engine. I don't actually have a TD010, but they send it around the world, and so I'll have a plane when it gets here to fly it with. But I'll try to find something I can fly it with when the Ringmaster Flyathon comes around. That's pretty soon. I think that's in October. But I always
Second, yeah.
have wanted to get out and try it. Last year I had something else to do on the day when I actually had the opportunity, but so I've never done it.
I was going to try it last year too. Maybe it's snow or something, but this year I got and I did a video on that one as well. That's when I was flying out at the hangar. It was a Brodat Ringmaster ARF, the electric one. So I'll be flying that this year for that. That's worldwide too.
I haven't flown an S1 Ringmaster since 1975.
I think I've only flown one once. Never cared for the way they look, but everybody seems to love them. I guess it reminds them of their young days in the sport. So.
I never had one back in the day either. The Starling planes I had was the P-51, the 35 size.
Yeah, I've got one in the box that has yet to be built. I bought it from Mike Lundke, and I wanted it because I've got the Yak 9, which is its sister plane sort of. They're built to go head to head in slow combat, so I want both of them hanging in my shop. And I take the Yak 9 out once in a while. It's got a Fox 35, and I'm going to put a Max S35 on the Mustang. I love that little Max S35. I put it on the string, and it's just a wonderful little small stunt engine. And it gets it goes a 4.2 brake like Swiss clockwork too, and it doesn't shake like a Fox either.
Oh yeah, the old Fox is a hard-hitting engine. Yeah, I gotta have a little OS Max 3. Yeah, S3 I think it is. And I actually just finished cleaning it all up and oiling it up. When I first came on this live show of Sparky's there, I was actually cleaning all my 049s and my...
We got light here.
Holy shit, do you ever...
Yeah, that's bright.
Next step is an X-ray. A lot of heat off that?
I bet it is. It's a halogen.
Gets pretty hot.
Yeah.
Probably 350 or 500. It draws a lot of current.
It's hot enough I don't want to put my finger on it.
The contacts go bad on those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one's got wired connections or spring connections, but the ones with the spring connections all burn up the little electrode at each end of the bulb.
Yeah, what's what the Chinese and those connections anyway? They're no good at it.
I've had it with buying lighting at Lowe's. None of theirs lasts any length of time.
Like the house, the living room type lamps, or that one there. Geez, that comes in its kit and everything, eh?
Pardon me?
That comes in its fancy little box and everything, eh?
Yeah, this is expensive movie lighting.
So, not made in China.
Pardon me?
It ain't made in China then.
No. I'll put up my green screen sometime and do some green screen stuff. I just been so busy.
You got a green screen.
Yeah, I got green screen, all that shit.
Wasn't it you that said I had a sickness?
Yeah, I got a mixing board and I got everything. Sound equipment, Zoom sound recorder, all that shit.
Yeah, I'm
It's,
not that computer savvy yet.
it's all for making movies, so I could make the best control line movies, but I ain't been doing so good at it.
One time, Sparky, I saw you do something that looked like a news broadcast where you sat at a desk and had graphics going on, if I recall correct, graphics going on behind you.
Yeah.
Was that the green screen?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Felt
I
like
think maybe that was when you were interviewing Paul Walker and Bob Hunt. I can't remember.
It was.
But,
It takes a lot of work to produce those.
yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that Paul Walker interview. And Bob Hunt took a while to loosen up, but once he got going, he was pretty good too.
Paul
Now,
Walker.
I'm going to do Wendy. I got some other software on this computer, and as soon as I can, I haven't really worked at it because I've been flying. I'm trying to get ready to go to this contest, but maybe this weekend, or not this weekend because the contest is this weekend. Maybe around Monday or so, I'll work on getting that software straightened out so I can do a professional news broadcast, because that's what I got, the OBS studio, and we'll get Wendy's interview on that. I want to produce decent, content so that my viewers will come back and like my channel,
Yeah. Well, the more you do, the smoother you get at it. I've watched you off and on from the beginning, and every time you do it, you get a little more organized, a little bit more organized about expressing your thoughts, and making it easier to watch. So yeah, it takes a while to get the hang of it. It's hard to make a movie without looking like a doofus. I've known from the time I started making little short video movies, and I had to cut all the uhs and stutters and all of that out, so.
Well, I have absolutely no help,
Yeah.
Neither do I. I do
I'm
everything.
the cameraman, I'm the editor, I'm the subject and the announcer, the writer, and the one doing the work. So.
But you've come a long way in the short time you've been doing it.
2 years now.
Yeah, but yeah, your quality now is shows that you're getting experience. So it's becoming more and more enjoyable to watch.
It's a combination of experience and getting comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my wife, she says, "Oh, you're going downstairs to talk to yourself again, are you?" Yes.
Yeah. I've always been comfortable with public speaking, so that helps. And with a camera, it was always a little bit different at first, not being able to see your audience. But now that the computer technology's come along, it's making it go pretty well. I sit here, and this is probably the third time I've ever video chatted, and just here with Sparky and the gang, and I cruise along pretty good, pretty comfortable.
Yeah, you have that advantage over me. I was never ever comfortable with public speaking, but I was always comfortable talking to myself. So me and the camera get along pretty good in that regard, I guess.
Well, I have no problem with public speaking because when I was working at the dealership, they would have, customer appreciation days or, some different things. And they would have a whole audience come in, and I would give a seminar on different things. And one time I stood up in front of everybody and I took a brand new CBO gas tank and hit the side with a hammer and hit the other side with a hammer. And I said, "You don't want to do that." And what I was setting up for was doing some recessed teardrops on this gas tank.
Yeah.
And we won with it. We won the show with that bike. And I said, "Well, you come back in a couple weeks and you'll see what this tank has evolved to." So, I mean, I have no problem speaking. I get thousands of views on some of these videos. And so I got no problem with speaking to people or talking or whatever. I don't think.
Yeah, the first video I did where I actually talked to like in a supposed audience was when I did my 1860 Colt video a long time ago. And I've watched that actually a few months ago and said, yeah, a fella comes a long way over the years.
Hmm.
Because I got getting close to 1,100 subscribers now.
Wow.
I wish I could get over 1,000. I think I got 670.
Yeah, and you did it in less than a year though. Mine have been going since 2009, I think, or 2008.
Well, how many people in the world like control line?
More and more I'm noticing, but in comparison to all this other silly shit that's out there, not many.
If I was posting a video of a dog taking a crap on a newspaper or somebody getting hit in the nuts with a football, hey man, I get 10,000 people, you know.
Ridiculous, yeah. Now, my most popular videos are my gun videos, and for them to go over up to 10,000 views is not a big deal. My model airplane ones, I've got them ones in there for a couple of years and they don't have 100 views.
I think the most views I got on one video is about 4,000.
That's pretty good.
I might have over 1,000 on one of my bladder making tutorials, pressure bladder making tutorials, but that's probably my most active one of all.
The tutorial videos that the people like the most is how to polyspan.
Yeah, I might have to watch that.
Yeah, I watched that one. Actually, I bought some from RSM when I just ordered some stuff from another E-timer.
Well, if you follow my tutorial on how to polyspan, you'll end up with professional results.
I saved that one. It's a little heavier than silk span, eh?
A little bit, but you know, if you're rough, this airplane here is silk span, the Monado is silk span. I like polyspan. My Continental is polyspan. But you know, if you're a little rough on your models, I suggest polyspan because it's 10 times stronger than silk span.
No,
Yeah, that's what I need. I've been known to put a finger through them. So.
And dents, will they iron out like the Seekonite will?
You just take a heat gun
and they'll come out, eh?
Yeah, you're not going to get any sags or dents in it though. Once it shrinks up, that's it. You know.
Oh, I can put a dent in it. I'll guarantee you that.
No, I doubt it.
Because I got that J3 Cub you saw there a while back there. That one's covered with, it's called, well, SIG calls it coverall.
Yeah, that's what the fuselage on my shoestring is, coverall.
Oh, really? How'd you like it?
It's heavy.
Oh, it's heavy. It's an RC covering, but
that's the only thing that will go around those compound curves. See,
yep.
The polyspan won't do those super compound curves. You know, we got to go 10,000 different directions.
Yeah.
I suppose if I dick with it long enough, I tried to cover it with silk span to begin with. And that ain't no good.
But there's guys that do it.
I'm still a monocoat hack. I have yet to learn to do it the old-fashioned, the right way.
I like ARFs and monocoat because my airplanes all have a very short expiry date on them.
Yeah.
Well, that way they're already bagged up for easy transport. When you hit the ground, they're already in a bag. You just pick them up.
Yeah. Always take a grocery bag flying with you.
One of my worst was I just bought this Decathlon. It had a 85-inch wingspan. It was RC. First flight, the radio failed on takeoff, and it took me like an hour to get it in the back of the truck. Well, taking it home, it took me about 15 minutes with a dustpan in a bag.
Well, when my Thunderbolt hit the ground, when that flap came up and it rolled off the top of the hourglass, hit the pavement out there at Booter where I was flying today, it exploded into a billion pieces. It's gone.
That's one thing that I gotta say good about the old Sterling kits. You could punch that airplane straight in the ground, and you had a pretty good chance pulling it out, repropping it, cleaning the dirt out of the Venturi, and going again.
Yeah, that's some tough stuff.
Because I've done it with my ringmaster.
You could just about beat somebody to death with the fuselage piece on one of those things.
Yeah. And then when I got a Goldberg shoestring, all I gotta do is glue the tail on and start doping. And I've only been working on that for 14 years now. And when I looked at how soft the wood was in that kit, it's like, wow.
Well, we got 7 watchers and 3 participants, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, as I think, like you were saying, mentioned in previous videos, once we get into winter, you'll probably get more participants.
Maybe so. Can you tell who your watchers are, or are they anonymous?
Anonymous. They're probably just watching off the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Off my watch page, and that's all right because that adds to my metrics. I mean, I got a lot of traffic on my YouTube channel.
Don't forget to hit thumbs up there, guys.
Like, subscribe, and share this channel, please. That's kind of important.
There's a whole lot more people that read your forum than actually post anything on it. My buddy Wayne, he reads it, he watches, he's probably watching this right now, and he's been a member since, I don't know, 2012 or so, and has never posted one single post.
That's all right. You know, as long as we'll be here as long as it supports itself.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you and Stunt Hanger have done a lot for keeping people interested and getting people interested in the hobby. So it couldn't be a better resource anywhere for information. You kind of have to cherry pick it, know who's talking, but after you watch a while, you kind of get the hang of who to listen to and what method you want to take, because so much of the information is right, but inconsistent with other information. So you gotta be consistent as well as choosing your source too.
Well, like what when I show my building techniques or whatever, my way is not the only way. My way is my way. If you want to do it my way, it works great, but it's not the only way.
Yeah, you touched on that the other night when we were talking about it too. Make sure everybody realizes there's a lot of ways to get to the same end result.
Yeah, I watched that video from at work. I was on the panel so I could sit back and watch it.
I just learned and I teach the old school methods from 1950. Nothing's changed, and probably since 1940. Molding balsa and how to lay things out, dope and tissue. It's all old world crap, no high tech stuff.
Thing I gotta say about doping and tissue and doping fabric though, I've seen guys like even in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, monocoats started getting very popular. They do a beautiful job on an airframe, and then they cover it with the plastic and make it look like something from Walmart. That's kind of how I looked at that. And if you took the same machine and did it old school with actual fabrics and dopes, and especially the way you do it, man, it just makes the same airplane look totally different.
I agree.
I actually got right good with monocoat, just from the beginning, and I've been pretty proud of most of my planes. But yeah, I'd love to be able to do it like this. And I've got one of Bob Zambelli's old planes. It's called a Puma, which is Italian for feather. It's I-beam wing plane that's got rotten silk all over it. So I'm going to redo it, and that will be my first at recovering the proper old-fashioned method. And maybe this winter I'll get to that. I'm looking forward to it. It's a really pretty plane.
Now you gotta ask Chris what he used to strip his airplane, because he used some kind of stripper on his airplane, and it come out super clean as a whistle, just like brand new wood.
Yeah.
There's a stripper you can get for aircraft. That might have been what he used, because it leaves wood like the day it was put on the machine.
Walmart sells a can of something called airplane stripper or something like that. I wonder if that's what it is.
You can best bet it'll eat it right to the ground.
Maybe. I'll take a picture of the can
How
next
it's going
time.
to respond. That airplane's probably put together with Android or Segment or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I got a couple of restoration projects in the basement on the pile. I got a little Veco Papoose that my great uncle gave me. The airplane's older than I am. And that was the first built up fuselage airplane I flew. And I had a 19 McCoy in it. And I could never get over how well that thing ran. And it wasn't until I got back into control line and then found out that, yes, a built up airplane with a vertical engine is going to run way better than your side mounted profile airplane.
Yeah.
And that little Papoose, I always kind of stuck in my head how much fun I had flying that thing. Flip it and fly it. Fuel it, flip it, and fly it. And I still have it.
The airplane that I had the most fun with when I was a kid was a Junior Nobler with a Vico 19 on it.
Oh, nice.
That motor ran so good it was unreal.
I love half A's. I like the, have baby flight streak, little Satan, things like that, and put good powerful engines on them, like a TDO 51 and bladder fed, and those are. And if you ain't smiling when you land one of those, there's something wrong with you, because they really rip the sky up, something awful.
And if you dork it, you don't.
I had to break a lot of bad habits when I graduated from half A to flying precision aerobatics, because there's just things, the way you yank a half A plane around does not work at all with a stunner. You continuously stall in the wing on a stunner when you try to make sharp turns, and so it was hard for me to get over. I spent a whole summer just trying to break my half A habits before I could fly in a contest.
This has got a brand new engine in this one. The fellow in British Columbia, he Cox International, he calls it. And this one's got a little stunt tank on it.
Oh yeah.
That's a Golden Bee.
Baby.
Oh.
I do have a couple of Golden Bees. They're supposed to have damn near as much power as a Black Widow, from what I understand.
Yeah, it depends on the venturi size and the porting. There's either dual port or single port. There's not a lot of difference between the cylinders.
Yeah, the Black Widow and the TDs and the Golden Bee all have the dual port.
Yeah.
This one, of course, just has a single, but it has a stunt tank, they call it.
Right.
Yeah, wouldn't start. I'm using
It's
the clip-on glow with an extension that clips onto the 049. It just doesn't get the power to the glow head. So.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to shut her down. Been on 2 hours now.
Yeah.
Okay, Sparky. Well, I'm glad I checked in. I enjoyed it.
I'm probably
Nice to meet you, Carol, in real life.
I probably won't run this until Saturday again.
Oh.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out and try to drop in if I can.
How about you, Daryl? Can you make Saturday?
I'll try. I'm doing a run of 7 12-hour shifts here, so.
All right.
I'm
Well,
flying Saturday, so I'll see how I feel. If I'm still got any energy, I'll get on.
Sounds
all
good.
right, guys.
Okay, guys. We'll see y'all
Good
later.
seeing you
Good
guys.
night.
Night now.
Good night.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share my videos. Till I see you again, fair winds. Tight line. See ya.